Forgiveness, wrote the philosopher Hannah Arendt, who had to learn a thing or two about forgiveness. She was the person sent by the New Yorker to cover the Eichmann trial in Jerusalem, and then had the book called The Banality of Evil, the Eichmann trial in Jerusalem. So she wrote, right, forgiveness is the only way to reverse the irreversible flow of history. This encapsulates a profound perspective, a transformative power of forgiveness in the face of historical injustice and conflicts. At its core, it suggests that forgiveness has the unique ability to alter oneself and the trajectory of human history, which often seems too bound by the weight of past grievances and conflicts. But put simply, if we can harness forgiveness, we can have the power to change our lives and the lives of others. So tonight, the opening of Yom Kippur, as we celebrate possibility and almost the absurd command that we forgive, that we release, that we begin again. And our tradition says that this is not a choice or just a tool, but a must, a necessity. God has said to us, make amends with your fellow man before you even think about coming to me with forgiveness. Keep your lanes clean before you come and ask me for forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things that we do and ever asked to do. Forgiving others, forgiving ourselves, even forgiving God. Sometimes we'd rather carry the grudge. Somebody else was talking about it, right? Right, you were talking about, right? Polish the resentments, nurse the wound, right? It feels safer. Anger can feel like control. It is not. It is losing control and letting your emotions run away with you. And yes, the harder thing to do, the harder it is to forgive somebody, it says to you, it is most important than to do just that, to forgive. The Torah insists, Ki vayom hazeh yechaper alechem lifnei Adonai titaharu. On this day, the atonement is made for you, available to you before God, so you can be purified. But forgiveness requires courage. So I want to talk a little bit about courage to forgive, the need to forgive, the duty to forgive, not as a platitude, but as a practice. We live in a time where everybody seems to be offended by something. Easily offended, I might add. We cancel, we block, we hate people who disagree with us, people who say things or rub against our worldview. Outrage becomes our oxygen. We breathe it daily, and it keeps us running hot, always ready to condemn one person, one thing or another. To comment on this post or that post, to jump on our legs and scream. We don't actually deal with our emotions, we just lash out. But Torah reminds us, Lo tisna et achicha bilvavecha, do not hate your brother in your heart, because hatred doesn't fix anything, it shrinks us, it locks us, and it makes us carry it. We all carry this anger, all of us deep, perhaps in secret. I hate that thing. Even I do that. Now, anger, of course, is unseemly in polite society. So what do? We created safe spaces. And by doing so, we have anesthetized the society to have any real meaningful conversation. We try to avoid any attempts at actually dealing with our anger or emotion. And the fear of offending somebody or being canceled governs our conversations. Look, safe space. There's no chance to get angry. No need to practice forgiveness. So, what then, instead of reacting What if we got curious? What if instead of canceling, we paused, examined our feelings? What if we go from, ugh, I can't deal with that. We cannot continue perhaps to harbor the anger without dealing with it internally or communally. Because if we don't deal with it, if we continue on this path of safe spaces and squelching everything else, we are killing ourselves and killing our society. So here's what I want to try and create instead. A way to practice forgiveness, and I need help. I want to build a brave space. Instead of safe spaces, brave spaces. In a brave space, our attention shifts from safety to courage. In a brave space, individuals are invited, in fact, expected to speak openly and authentically. This doesn't mean disregarding kindness, respect, or sensitivity. You don't just get to be an asshole, right? In the name of brave spaces. Instead, it's about encouraging conversations that are grounded in mutual respect, but not bound by fear. It's a space open to real emotion instead of outburst. It is an environment where individuals are allowed to ask questions that might be uncomfortable, to voice opinions that might be challenging, and most importantly, to make mistakes. And then, if offended or angered, one may voice their objection, and then, if accepted, make an apology. It is a practice of forgiveness. In brave spaces, we make room for differences, and discomfort is part of the learning process. Part of the mistakes that we make in good faith, where we don't just penalize people. We use it as opportunities for insights and accountability. Creating brave spaces demands accountability and bravery. When we make mistakes, we must be willing to own them and realize and confront them, again, with bravery. Reflect on that and the harm that we've caused. This ensures that bravery is not mistaken for a license to harm, but to understand and have it as a commitment to engage authentically and thoughtfully. I read recently a book by Mel Robbins called Let Them. I don't know if anybody else has read them. Thank you. She points, the point of the book is very simple. The point of the book is you can't control how people behave, you can only control how you respond. If they are disappointed, if they disappoint you, let them. If they don't show up, let them. Your power is in your choice to not be reactive. We can't control the past. We can't control others, but we can if we decide right here, right now, how we will be moving forward. You see, you will never be able to control what is happening around you, but you can always choose what to say. You can always choose what to think, to do in response to the people around you, or in response to the emotions within you. Hating people who hurt us can feel like justice. It feels like holding anger is the only weapon we have. It feels like taking control. To forgive them feels sometimes like betraying ourselves, like betraying the child we were, the wound that we carry. But the truth is that hate does not punish them, it punishes us. It chains us to the very people we long to be free from. Forgiveness in this case is not about excusing evil. It's about saying it didn't matter, and not about saying it didn't matter, but not about erasing the crime, but it's about saying, I will not let you live rent-free in my soul anymore. Anger may feel like justice, but forgiveness is true freedom, one that comes from the bravery of our actions, a reaction to the people around us. When you're triggered, your pause can save your life. Not reacting is not weakness, it's strength. It's choosing not to be defined by somebody else's choice. It's not turning the other cheek. It's not giving it power. It's a practice of, meh, I value my own mental health more than your need to be rude or stupid or ignorant. It's using the God-given tool to forgive that I may have a better life for myself. Don't get me wrong, it's not accepting all of it as it is. We must fight for our rights and our beliefs. But we do this because and when it's right, not because we hate or get angry or react. We always have to choose response. I spoke about my father on Rosh Hashanah. He had me very young, ill-prepared, ill-equipped. He was a successful, intelligent, and stoic individual. And he had never once in his entire life said to me that he loved me or that he was proud of me. He criticized me plenty, mocked me many times. He left me with scars that shaped me. Life was not a safe space for me. When he died suddenly of COVID in 2020, I had a choice. Hold the grudge forever, or hold my anger, or forgive. And in spite of my pain, I chose forgiveness. I still hurt from the things that he did to me. From throwing me to the streets as a teenager, from ignoring me, from wanting him to sit Shiva on me, from alienating me from the rest of the family, from not doing anything when others deeply abused me. But I had to forgive. It wasn't about him anymore. It's about me not carrying the bitterness into the rest of my life. I needed to stop letting it have power over me. So I did something very difficult. I asked myself a very difficult question, one that I still practice, and one that remains difficult but vital to me and might resonate with others, but maybe not. What if the worst thing that's ever happened to me? What if it's the best thing that's ever happened to me? What if the worst thing that they did to me, which was pretty horrible, what if that was the best thing that's ever happened to me? Forgiveness did not mean excusing them or excusing the harm. It meant refusing to stay chained to it. Our tradition is asking this of us tonight. Not to excuse harm, not to pretend it never hurt, but to refuse to stay bound to it. It was hard to process for me, but I learned again that the harder it is to forgive somebody, the more important it is to actually do so. In forgiving others is hard, forgiving ourselves is even harder. Because we replay our mistakes, we shame ourselves with what ifs all the time. The Baal Shem Tov says that despair is the work of the evil inclination because despair convinces us we are beyond repair. But of course, no one is beyond repair. Yom Kippur is proof. Beit Tshuva is proof. You all here are proof. Rigorous honesty. Admit the harm. Make amends. But don't live forever in the wreckage of yesterday. Self-forgiveness is not denial. It is the courage to say, I am more than my worst mistakes, and so is everybody else. I think about this every night because a study in 2017 was done on sleep, a vital part of spiritual existence when our soul goes up to heaven, to the soul spine in the sky, a time to recharge, to dream, to heal. And they found that if you want better sleep, try forgiving someone. How lucky we are that we have this ancient tradition that we sing the prayer of Shema before bedtime, that we ask for forgiveness before sleep every night. We have them. I make a lot of clients here say that. We have a journal that they say. this prayer to forgive everybody around us. Let's be real. Forgiveness doesn't happen in one called Nidre. You don't walk out tonight with your halo polished, humming kumbaya, everything's great. No. Sometimes forgiveness takes years. Sometimes it's one phone call at a time, one prayer at a time, one choice not to lash out. If you're waiting for the perfect moment to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. But it's about action, not feeling. Do the forgiving act, even if you don't forgiving yet. The feeling may catch up later. So tonight, on Kol Nidre, make a list of those people you need to forgive. Your ex-husband, ex-coworker, your parent, your family member, an old friend, or even somebody who randomly hurt you, and of course, yourself. Let's recognize the value of forgiveness and how it can improve your life. Acknowledge your emotions about the harm that it's been done to you. Recognize how those emotions affect your behavior. Release the control it has on you and the power of that. Practice non-reactivity. Strength is choosing not to be defined by somebody else's chaos. Say the prayer of Shema before bedtime. We have journals if you want, by the way. Forgive, because getting angry is punishing yourself for the stupidity of others. Self-forgiveness is the courage to claim your life beyond your mistakes, and by doing so, reminding ourselves and others that they make mistakes, you make mistakes. Choose bravery, choose connection, so to really be able to interact in the world from a brave space. Because if you believe that you can damage, you also must believe that you can repair. Shana Tova.